Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Welcome back once again. Multiplaying, episode 86. One of the following people will not survive. I fucked this up. But anyways, what you drinking tonight, Dean?
I'm drinking water.
That's getting edited to hell. You're drinking water?
Yeah.
Shut up, Rare.
Yeah, Rare, shut up. I'm letting Rare drink for me from now
All right,
on.
Rare, what you drinking?
I'm drinking for him. I have another Smirnoff.
Really?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a pussy. Come on.
I probably am, but I have nothing else really good to drink here. I mean, I have some, I think it's like the 55s or whatever, some light beer, but I don't know. I don't really want to drink that.
All right. Jason, what you got?
I'm drinking a Big Juicy Big Flats.
Oh!
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
God. Why did you buy it?
Yeah.
Did somebody just give it to you?
No, it was. You know, it's. We were on our way last weekend to that '80s party that we went to.
Those
And,
pictures were
80s
awesome,
party?
by the way.
Oh, thanks. It was a lot of fun, and we stopped off at the Walgreens that has those, and I just saw it. I'm like, it's $2.99 for a 6-pack. Like, I gotta buy this. And then I totally forgot them in Shannon's car. So earlier today, she's like, these have been in my car all week. So I threw them in the fridge real quick. So yeah,
That's
I
sick.
have like skunked Big Flats beer, which maybe will have like a. Be like a polar opposite type effect where like it turns really good.
I don't think it
on
works
normal beer it fucks it up. On Big Flats,
It's like gamma radiation on it. And but no, but it didn't. It's awful.
It sounds bad.
Yeah.
Just I have got an amaretto sour, and let's get into a quick topic. We didn't decide which topic we wanted to talk about. Do we want to talk about Diablo 3, or do we want to skip having a topic at all?
Well, we talk about Diablo about the launch.
Yeah, it's kind of been done.
That's kind of boring.
I'm thinking I'm way too tired to do a quick topic.
We're starting late. Let's plow through this.
Let's say fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about what
Our
we've been
topic
playing.
should be how much topics suck.
This is not a topical show. What do you expect? So, with that, let's get into what we've been playing. Dean,
Hi.
you've not been on the show for a long time.
I know, it's been...
Partly because we didn't have a show for a while. But
Yeah, it's been
how's it
months.
going, buddy?
Really, really good. Thanks for asking.
You have a house.
I do. The house finally got built. It's finished. I'm in it. We got ants. It's great being a homeowner.
Got ants?
You got to mow the lawn and shit.
Oh, we don't have a lawn yet. We'll get one soon, hopefully.
Don't get a lawn. Just put rocks down.
I was saying we should just pave it all.
Do it.
I really
Fucking
love
lawns suck. It's the most pointless thing that you can do with your life. I mean, video games are one thing, but taking care of wheat like grass, who cares?
Luckily, it's a hill, so I'm hoping we can, put some rocks and hopefully have the lawn just be a tiny little spot. But we'll see.
Just make the entire lawn a waterfall, like a pond. That's what you need to do.
That sounds like a worse idea.
No, it's gonna be all koi, like some fish and shit in there. It'd be awesome.
You can come and do it for me, okay?
Sure.
All right.
It's gonna be awful. But what have you been playing?
I haven't had a ton of time to game, but the one thing that I've really been looking forward to is, and this is kind of messed up because it's on the Wii that I was looking forward to it on, and who looks forward to a game on Wii? Oh, well, that isn't like a first-party game, of course, but this JRPG came out called Xenoblade Chronicles.
All right.
For Nintendo Wii. It's and what's funny is it's, I don't know, it's like this whole Final Fantasy kick thing I've been on. I finished Final Fantasy 13-2 back in February and loved it, and I was like, I need another JRPG. Well, this is the one that came along, and it's fucking awesome. And my last experience with the Wii game was Zelda? Is that what it was? Skyward Sword. In that game,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucked, but this one's actually really good. It's sort of think of it like almost like an MMO, but it's it's just so good. It's huge, and that's the first thing you notice with this game is that it's just fucking massive, and it ticks all the little check marks for Japanese shit. So you got like giant robots, you've got guys with spiky hair, and then you've got chicks with disproportionate eyes and just as disproportionate breasts. So it ticks all the all the standard JRPG boxes, but it actually does a couple cool things. So like number one, the setting is kind of awesome. Like you're on, it's weird. Like back in time or whatever, there were these giant robots or something, and the robots are dead, and so it's been so long that life has actually sprung up on these robots. And so you work through this biosphere essentially, like you're working your way up a robot, and it's so massive that you can't actually see the whole thing, so you can like look up and you speculate, I think that might be its arm, you don't know, but it's really cool, and it just has these massive environments that you do essentially quests in. So it's very much like an MMO where you go to kind of a hub town, and they give you all these like side quests to do, and go kill 10 of these things, go help these things, in addition to the main storyline. So it has a ton of content. I think I've put about like 20 hours into it, and I'm playing it like a completionist, and I probably should stop now because the game's never going to end if I do this. But it's so good. Like it's an action battle. So instead of doing like turn-based stuff, you're actually controlling a character in a party and whatever, and you move around actively as opposed to doing turn-based stuff. And it's kind of like Final Fantasy, I don't know, 12 maybe, I think. Is that the one where it's an action battle? I don't know. I didn't play that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like you actually input commands, and you're actually doing auto attacks on top of like positional attacks. So like the main guy is sort of a rogue where you do side attacks in order to debuff, and then back attacks in order to do like a high damage attack and stuff like that. So it's very much like an MMO. There's an aggro system while you're in combat, so people can pull aggro away from you, and then you can pull aggro away from them, and depending on who has the aggro, you can do positional attacks and stuff like that. So it's got a pretty in-depth combat system, and it's actually fun. So that's good. But yeah,
you said the whole time that you're moving around and doing these quests, you're in the robot, or you see the robot?
So it's kind of hard to explain. Like you're on the robot. So, but it's so big that it's basically like an Earth, and so and so there are sections where you're actually on the robot, but it looks just like any other environment. So there will be like jungles and plains and stuff like that. But if you look, you can actually see like pieces of the robot. It's really confusing, kind of. But sometimes
I think I understand.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting, and then sometimes you'll go inside the robot and stuff like that. But it's really cool. It's got a pretty cool storyline. It's about like these humans fighting. Essentially, I think because they were two robots locked in battle, I speculate that they're fighting people from the other robot. I don't know. It's kind of confusing because, of course, it wouldn't be a JRPG
because it's Japanese.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a JRPG if it made sense. I don't play it to understand, but anyway, it's a really fun game. I would recommend if people really like JRPGs, and even if you don't, if you kind of like MMO style Japanese games, it's really engaging, and the environments are actually pretty nice looking too for the Wii.
So it's like the MMO-ness, like along the lines of Dragon's Quest, like 9 or whatever.
Is that the one for the DS?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played that one.
No, that's like the only one I have played. Which is weird. So.
Well, I don't know.
It's very MMO-y.
Yeah, this one it really feels like an MMO, and people are really saying like this is one of the best JRPGs of the generation, and I would have to almost agree with them because it is very, very good. It's very fun and very addictive, and I plan on playing through the whole thing and hopefully not getting stuck on side quests and then quitting eventually. But yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good.
Cool. Well, what stuff, since we have you here, and you haven't been here in a while, what other stuff are you looking forward to?
So, I have no idea what's even coming out. I'm looking forward to playing Dark Souls. It's been sitting by my TV, and it's like, stick me into your PS3, Dean. And I'm like, no, I'm playing another game right now. You need to stop.
So you should just wait and then get Dark Souls on the PC.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's a horrible thing. I'm looking forward to it, but I hope they don't fuck it up. So.
I bet they'll do okay. I want to play it with my with my headset and the recliner and just sort of zone out. But what I'm really looking forward to is
you're not going to zone out playing.
No, you're not going. You can't zone out in Dark Souls. That's going to kick your ass.
I mean, like, just remove the
lock in.
Yes, block.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, just.
You
totally
mean masturbate?
I want to masturbate with Dark Souls. Yeah. That's kind of.
That's an endorsement.
Bill Brasky.
But the one I'm really looking forward to, the only game that I even know is coming out this year that I even care about right now is Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I bought, pre-bought or whatever today. So I'm looking forward to that.
So what made you pick it up? Because I haven't really heard you talk much about that game.
Well, last year when we all were talking about it, when all I think it was last year.
Yeah.
When all the stuff started coming out, like last May or so, it looked amazing, and I got to see a couple people playing it at PAX last August.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I've always maintained an interest in it. I played a ton of Nightfall, which is I really enjoyed Nightfall. I thought
Nightfall was my favorite one of their expansions or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was. Well, it had a good storyline, and it was the most complete feeling game out of the ones that I played, because Prophecies was okay, but then you start getting into Nightfall, and if you got the hero classes and stuff like that, not the hero classes, but the heroes that you could hire or whatever,
the companions,
yeah, like the henchmen people.
Yep.
It was pretty cool, and so, but all the stuff that I saw about Guild Wars, like the public questing, the just the way the grouping worked, the way the crafting worked, and just the way that they're trying to accommodate the different ways people play. It just seems really cool to me, and the fact that it doesn't have a subscription fee, because I kind of burnt out on MMOs, and I'm sick of paying monthly for shit I don't play.
Yeah.
So and it looks cool, and everybody else is excited about it, and I want to play a game with you guys again. So
hopefully it's the one.
I doubt it, but it'll be the one for a while, right?
I think out of any,
so you can keep coming back.
True.
Whoa, one at a time. What? Just kidding.
No, I think out of any, we keep talking about MMOs, which one's going to be the one? For me, I think I'm not saying that this is going to be something like I'm going to play like I did when I first started playing MMOs, but this probably has the best chance of being something I go back to, mostly just because of the three sides, and it feels like DAOC, to be honest, with actually really good single-player combat. But
did you actually play the betas or anything?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard anything about this. I don't want to ruin the podcast, but I want to hear about it. Can you talk about it? Can we talk about it?
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, what the part that hooked me when I kind of just what got really hooked into it was when I got up a couple levels and I figured out how to go to the what do they call it? In
the mists?
Yeah, the mists, which is the three-sided kind of open PvP area, and just it felt like DAOC to me. It had keeps, it had maps that were laid out like the frontiers in DAOC, and the way that it scaled to where I was level 5, and I'm sure there wasn't people who were, I don't know what the level range was, but you didn't feel like you were underpowered, even though you had whatever abilities you had at level. But from what I've read, it kind of seems like it does a really good job of gear matters more for PvE, not so much PvP. Things balance out, and I could be wrong, but that's what I read, and that's definitely the impression I got. And the one little detail that really nailed it home to me, and I think I messaged Steve right away, was for people who play DOC. When you click on an enemy, it doesn't say what class they are. It doesn't say anything. It just has a generic, this is an enemy from this realm.
Yep.
Which is exactly what DAOC did.
So you have to figure out their class then.
Yeah, which it goes back to all this strategy. My big one in DAOC was a friar. So I remember finding people who could make leather robes that looked like a cloth caster, and I would carry my staff, and people would come up to me and think I was like a Thurgist or something like that, and just melee them down like hell. Like, I mean, I don't know if you can do that in this game, but it brought back like all those type of feelings to me.
So did you see from playing it or reading about it, did you see that can you level in the PvP?
Oh yeah, I hit a couple different levels in PvP.
See, that's the one thing I loved about like War. That's all I would do. I would just level via PvP.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can absolutely do that. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and the keep I was in keep defenses and keep sieges, and it reminded me of in DAOC where I could lose hours and hours in a battle that was kind of, you were making some progress, the third side would come in and it would mess it all up, but you were still going. That's exactly the feeling I got from this.
That was exactly one of the stories that I had read. I think it was on Reddit or something, in the Guild Wars 2 subreddit. There was somebody sharing a story about how like they were in a keep defending, but they knew they didn't have enough people. One of the other servers, one of the sides from the other server was attacking the keep and about to push in, and so he said everybody went down into the keep to kind of defend at the door or whatever, and then everything went silent, and he's like, well, what the hell, what's going on? So they went back up top to see what was going on, and the like catapult or the trebuchet or whatever they had out front that they were attacking them with was gone, and they're like, what the hell's going on? So they look, and the side that was out there attacking them was fighting the third side. The third side had actually come along and attacked the other guys from the back, and so everybody's in the keep like shooting like down on them and shit. So there's like all three sides sitting there fighting, and it's that sort of shit that used to happen in Dark Age all the time.
Yep.
That was that unknown quantity that was just it made that game what it was.
So you said they came from another server. Does it load balance transferring servers? Like,
what it does is in the mist area, it will pair you up with two other servers, and you'll compete, and it will last for a couple weeks, and you'll get benefits for your whole realm just like you would in DAOC if you're winning or if you've won. However,
you get benefits to like your XP, your crafting, whatever it may be. There's various different bonuses that you can gain for your side.
So it actually means something. But what's really cool is after you compete the 2 weeks, it will start, as time goes on with the game, it will start to build kind of a like true skill score for a server. And it will try to match you up with two other servers that are in your range. And it's kind of going to be like a ladder. Well, you'll go up or down, but it's going to try to pair you so it's not just some lopsided thing all the time where the other servers are kicking your butt.
I think I just might have messed my pants a little.
Yeah, I know. I've done that a couple times playing.
Yeah. Oh my god, that sounds amazing! I had no idea. So now I really want it.
Yeah, because I didn't read into that stuff very much at all. I knew they were going to do like a world versus world thing in an open area, which I was already excited about. But then Jason started telling me the stuff that he was experiencing, which led me to start reading more. And I started reading this shit, and I was just like, "Oh my crap!"
So are there multiple different mists, or is it just like one PvP?
No, from what I can tell, there are you have your own server mists, and each one does, but there's also a kind of central mist. So it's very similar to Dark Age, where everyone kind of has their realm, and you can go invade those, but there's also kind of a central one, which my guess is that central one is built to kind of be like, if you want to get into a quick battle, this is where you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I'm sure people will figure out different strategies of how to attack the different ones and, whatever. But in the beta weekends, it just kind of, I only went to the one that was the centralized one, and there was always shit going on.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, and the kicker is that the PvE stuff is really good too.
It is, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It is like I died quite a bit.
It's not the typical MMO cakewalk.
How does it work? Oh, I want to know everything.
Well, I mean,
let me tell you one really quick thing, and this is PvE and PvP.
All right.
When you die, it gives you no matter what class you are, it'll say you're about to be defeated. I don't remember what the exact words are, but it will kind of show your guy laying down, and it will have the blood stain on the screen. And it will say, it's fight for your life. and each class will have like 4 different abilities. Like I was playing as the elementalist, and I had one that was I could throw up some dirt from the ground near me against people, and if you kill somebody before your meter runs out, you come back to life. But there's one that the elementalist has that after you're dead for a couple seconds, if you're able to stay alive before anyone does like a finishing move on you, you can turn into like smoke, and it will give you like 5 seconds to move before you come back as dead. So I was doing a keep defense, and I was using my spells on the people who were trying to bring down the gate, and I accidentally fell off, and I died, and they didn't finish me. I was able to mist back inside the keep, and someone was able to res me right there. But that's cool. That stuff works in PvE as well. If you have a couple mobs on you, and you die, and you're able to take one of them out, it'll bring you back to life with like a second wind.
Neat.
Yeah. Every class can res.
Yep, everybody can res.
Oh, I saw that when we were talking about it last year. That's awesome.
The public quest stuff is really good. It's very, very well done. It's basically the same idea that Warhammer came up with, that you can go into an area and then boom, a public quest starts. But the nice thing is that it seems to scale very well. So as more people come into it, like, it will get tougher. So people really have to work together to actually get through it, the more people there are. So
how are they monetizing this whole thing? So like you pay $60 for it, and then
they haven't said. Yeah, there's going to be a cash shop, but they have not even said what the cash shop's going to have.
Guild Wars 1 had a cash shop too.
But it wasn't very
exploitative, no.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's pretty gentle stuff. It wasn't anything that would, okay, I spent $100, I'm way more powerful than you now.
I would hope it's going to work the same way, where they have teams that are just pumping out stuff on a yearly basis that you pay $30 for, which I would happily do if it was quality stuff.
Yep.
Definitely, yeah. Oh my god, I want it now.
I know.
I know. When I got home today from work, I'm like, God damn, I wish it was like a beta weekend, because I play the shit out of it.
That's crazy. It's supposed to come out in June, right? June or July or something?
They haven't said.
They have not said. Anything you've heard is speculation. That's what their Twitter says. So.
All right, cool. That sounds awesome. Thank you for explaining all that stuff, because now I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited.
Awesome.
But enough creaming our pants.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Jason.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about Guild Wars.
Me too.
But you have to wait.
Hold on. Okay. Diablo 3.
That was the weirdest pronunciation of that I've ever heard. Diablo 3.
Diablo.
That's how it's written on the document here.
I was looking at you through the bedroom window. Yeah. No, that's a game.
Is it a game that you're enjoying?
I am enjoying it a lot.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, it's really cool. I've played through 2 classes, like up to like level 10, both. Monk and the Wizard, and I'm really enjoying both. And
the Monk looks pretty badass.
The Monk is the one that I'm definitely gonna go forward with. The Wizard's a lot of fun, but the Monk just does tons of damage, has some nice healing, a little bit more survivability, it seems. But yeah, no, that's a really good game. I haven't really encountered many of the hiccups that people have, probably because this past week's been really weird for me, so I haven't played at peak times.
Yeah.
I think I only had one point on Wednesday night when I played at like 10 o'clock that I got some of those weird 37 errors or whatever they're called.
Right.
But other than that, no, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, Diablo, you know it, or you like it or you don't. So
pretty much.
Not going to convince anybody on anything.
I do have a question for you, though. Do you think it's worth $60 in comparison to getting Torchlight 2 for $20?
I mean, Torchlight 1 versus this, yeah, I do. I mean, I don't know what Torchlight 2 is going to be, because that's only going to be $20 too. And it seems like they're ramping up their beta invites right now. I haven't really researched much of that game, so I have no idea what that's going to be. But I mean, it's so hard to compare this one to Torchlight 1 just because of the co-op.
Yeah,
was not there.
that's what Torchlight 2 is going to have, which is why I'm kind of debating: do I want to go in 60 for Diablo or just 20 for Torchlight 2? Because I mean,
I have no
it's
idea.
kind of the same thing, but at the same time, maybe Diablo 3 is a bit more finessed. I don't know. Just figured it out.
I mean, if you're comparing Torchlight 1 to this, it is way more polished, way more finessed. The one thing that's blown me away with this game is just the sound, which I did not expect. I'm like getting totally immersed in everything, the effects of everything. But it's just the art style is really good in this game, which I mean, you kind of know the Blizzard art style. Yeah. I know like Grok is a huge fan of their art style, and I can totally see that. Mm-hmm. And this one adds it kind of adds companions, and they can't do things like it was one thing I was kind of bummed out earlier. Like I wish I could just make them sell my stuff, like in Torchlight,
like the pet. Yeah.
Give me a soda, bitch.
Yeah.
Here, have a fish.
And the story, I mean, the story is kind of it's the voice acting is kind of cheesy, but I think in a deliberate way. But the storyline's not bad so far. Like I'm actually paying attention to what's going on, which I can't say for many other, games in this type.
Right.
So I mean, the crafting is kind of neat in it.
It's crafting.
Yeah, there's crafting. Like
Cool.
It's so far from what I know, it's pretty simple. Like if you get a magic item, you can go to a person in town and break it down, and then it gives you components that you can put into armor or weapons.
Just got this mental image of you going to the person in town and just breaking out a piece of linoleum and getting down. Break it down.
Yeah.
Doing breakdancing.
So do you see yourself replaying the game a lot, going up in the harder difficulties and such?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I know that's like I've been thinking about it at work and stuff. Like I want to go home and play that, and that's what I've been doing so far. So I don't know.
Is this supposed to be fairly lengthy? Because I recall playing Diablo 2 obsessively with a friend. I never beat that game. We played it forever.
From what I heard, actually, I don't know. I thought I heard hours, but I think the one impressions I read said once you beat the game, you might be at level 30, but it goes like up to 60.
Yeah, because you beat it on like normal, then hard, then
and go to Nightmare.
Yeah, because I think Panda's on Nightmare right now, so he's already beaten normal.
Yeah, but who knows how many hours those people have put in so far.
Crazy bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm still in Act 1, and I'm level 10 on both characters. So I don't know. But
have you played any co-op yet?
No, I haven't. I've got a bunch from the multiplaying thread, a bunch of battle tags from people, but I just haven't been able to hook up with anybody yet. But I definitely want to. I that's kind of what I'm playing the class is. I'm trying to think about what I could bring to the group, and I've always tended to be more of a healer, so I think that's one reason the monk appeals to me.
Do you really have to get that technical with the game? Like,
I don't think you do. I'm just thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
No, especially if you're playing single player, I don't think you do at all.
Okay.
But
the one thing that got me interested in that, oddly enough, was Scary had put something on the forums about the hardcore difficulty and how it just did not fuck around. And for some reason,
those in the other ones too.
Yeah, but I don't know, I never did them, and I guess for some reason something like triggered me. Like, you know what? That actually sounds like a fun night, just sitting and going fucking nuts on the mouse trying to survive.
I think would be really cool with that idea is if you had a static group that you went and did that with, and you didn't play other than that, and that would, I mean, that you guys would all be on point. That would be a lot of fun.
That would be cool.
But I don't know. I think so. Do they give you how many guest passes do they give you with that game?
There's guest passes?
Yeah.
Somebody give me one.
Supposedly, I'll give you one. I've heard about it, but I don't know exactly how that works. I just heard that you're supposed to get some guest passes. It's kind of like a trial version.
Oh,
yeah, I think it takes you up through the Skeleton King, which is the same.
Which is a good chunk.
That's a good chunk. That was the same that
you like 2 hours of play.
Right, that beta weekend. That's essentially what they let everybody play in the beta weekend.
Yeah. And the Skeleton King was. He wasn't real tough, but he was fairly challenging. Well, the one I did it with my wizard and my monk, and what I noticed was I played them differently, which I think is a good sign.
Oh, that's cool.
So I used some tactics. I think the worst I got down was half health, but still.
So instead of clicking on them, you clicked on them.
No, there was different ways of like keeping them at range
fucking
at
with
bay.
you. I know.
Because those aren't tank characters. So yeah, this game is not for you.
No, I know. I
But
do
you
not
what?
know why.
You're gonna get it at some point.
I probably will.
I know you
But
will.
see, this is the kind of game though that won't even lose value. It's gonna be.
That's what pisses me off about
On
it.
the podcast last time, yeah, it's like a
That's what
Nintendo
pisses
game.
me off.
Yeah.
It totally pisses me off. That's why I'll probably buy Torchlight 2 first, because it's like, hey, it's the same experience. I'm gonna get it for $20.
One is still $20.
I know.
I still have not played that. Never will.
But that's cool that you're enjoying it. That's awesome.
I am. I'm really liking it.
If you like
It's
that shit,
definitely-
that's cool.
Rah.
Robble. Rhubarb. Rare. What's rare? What you playing, Rare?
What am I playing? Playing Witcher 2. It's awesome.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Dude, this game's amazing. I cannot believe I'm so late to the ball. Because someone bought this for me a while ago, or I got it when I was on sale. I don't remember. But it was like last year, and I never played it.
Somehow it wound up in my collection.
Oh, it's so good, though. I haven't
It's
beaten the
really
first
good.
game, and I don't even care. This game's amazing.
Dean, have you
Everyone
played it?
should play this game.
Dean, have you played it?
I have played and almost nearly beat the first game.
So good.
Oh, dude, just move on to 2 and play it. Dude, I'm
It's
serious.
so good.
What is so good about it?
It's basically like Mass Effect, but darker and with fucking swords. It's awesome.
And the decisions are so much more impactful.
Because you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. You're like, oh shit, did I pick the wrong choice? And you're like, oh no, it was good. Or oh fuck, I just ruined everything.
I just have one question. Is Triss in it or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's
Do you
hot.
get to bang her?
Yes.
Okay.
Already
you
did.
want.
Chapter 1.
Oh,
You don't have.
you get right into her.
If you want, you can bang her in like the first 5 minutes of the game.
I think that actually happens no matter what you do.
Nah.
Don't you come into that scene with that already happening?
I think you can choose to not, because there's some. Well, no, that's not the scene I'm thinking of. I'm wrong. Yeah,
'Cause that in chapter
you
1,
see her
you can
naked.
choose
I
to.
don't think you bang her though, right?
Oh, that might be it. Well, no, you just finished.
Oh,
and
that's
why.
right. Yeah,
And then in
of
chapter
course.
1, you just do it.
Of course,
And
she's
she
looking there
magically removes her
unsatisfied.
I had no idea that you actually banged Triss. That was just a random. I had no idea. Wow.
No, but in all seriousness, that game is amazing. The combat's hard. Like, it's actually hard. I had to go look up stuff on YouTube, like, how do I kill this Spider Queen? Oh, well, if you put
Right.
traps down before the fight and, like, use your Quen symbol and shit like that, it's like, it's actually good. Buy it. Play it.
I think I do. I will say I think the combat is way harder in the beginning.
It's
once you start building up,
ridiculously hard.
once you start building up your stuff, I don't think it gets that bad. Like towards the end of the game, everything started to become pretty easy as long as you were being cautious.
Yeah, because the problem is, when you're first leveling, you have to go into the training tree, which
Yeah.
is all kind of like basic lame stuff.
Yeah.
So after the first act, which I just finished, so I'm not that far into the game, but it kind of opens up because you can go like magic or sword play or potions and stuff like that. But it's really good. So you
So
play
do
it.
you, do you have to like? Is the storyline or a continuation? Do they have it like previously on The Witcher?
They have the entire prologue, like the first hour of the game, is basically this is all the shit that happens at the end of Witcher, because we're assuming you didn't play Witcher because Witcher's really bad.
The Witcher was not bad. It was a good game.
No, the
Combat
game
was
was awesome, but the combat was horrid.
It wasn't that bad.
Yes, it was.
It's pretty bad.
You gotta lie to yourself, Dean.
Witcher 2's combat is streamlined, it's difficult, and I appreciate it, and it's good. Witcher 1's combat was just annoying. I'm sorry.
It was a mess.
But yeah, like, I haven't beaten Witcher. I only beat, like, the first 2 chapters, so I knew people like Zoltan and Triss, so I didn't know who Dandelion was. And now I do in Witcher 2, but basically it gives you a full hour-long recap that is awesome, and you are actively involved in. So it's good, Dean.
I will say, I think Dandelion's voice is the only person's voice that I don't like.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like his voice. I think I get it, like what they were going for. He's very
He's the bard. I mean, he's the guy who writes the
well-spoken,
journals and
so.
stuff.
But I think like everybody else's voice is so good.
I kind of found Roach annoying a little bit, but I guess he's kind of meant to be annoying.
I didn't have a problem with him.
But-
Did you have to make a choice?
Oh yeah, I chose, but I don't want to spoil it for Dean.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say I went with the woods.
I will
Okay.
eventually play this game. Eventually, maybe. Probably not.
No, there's no probably here. You are playing this game.
Well, if you buy it for me, never. Maybe
This is on my top 10 everyone needs to play this game list, and I haven't even gotten to the second chapter yet. It's that good.
All right.
really good.
Sorry, wait. Are you playing it with a controller? Steve, did you play it with a controller? Rare, I know you don't use controllers.
Yeah.
Steve?
I started the game with the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
And switched to the controller. And I played the console version as well, but then I went back to play the PC version. Prefer it with a controller.
Okay.
It
cool.
lends itself to controller play.
All right. Well, if I ever get it, I'll shove it on the HTPC gaming thing and get it on the TV.
It's good.
One question I have, because I've been playing it off and on, and I'm not far in, and I'm really enjoying it. But I think Steve, you can answer this. Rare, have you beaten the game? I'm sorry.
I've beaten chapter 1. That's it.
Okay. Well, I heard that the game kind of peaks at the end of Act 1. And the last 2 acts are fairly, they don't compare to the first one.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I will say that my only qualm with the game at all is that I don't really like the way it ended, but I'm questioning whether it was just because of decisions I made.
Right.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I really don't know, because it's actually a game that I do plan on. I want to play some other shit, but I'm going to go back.
They say this is one of the games that has the most pronounced effect on based on your decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I don't take any problems with the game. I don't have any problems with the game with the way it ended, because I really think that it's based on some of the stuff I chose, and I want to go back and see how the other ending is. I actually, I'm trying to think how the acts were split up, but the stuff in Act 2 and into 3 were like, that's the shit that really got me hooked and drove me to keep playing. Act 1 is amazing, and it has probably the most difficult decision in the game to make at the end of it. But the other 2 acts were just like, I had to keep playing the game. It was mind blowing. It's like, I mean, I kind of wrote it in the beginning of the review that I wrote, that I was given a copy of the console game to play, and I could not stop playing the PC game in order to do a proper review for it.
Yeah.
I did not want to stop playing it.
Like,
because
that's my problem right now. I've
Mhm.
only beaten the first chapter, and I already want to start over to see what happens if you pick the other option. I've only beaten the first chapter.
Yeah,
have
I saved it.
6 playthroughs of this game. It's going to be terrible.
I saved it right at that option, so when I go back to play, I'm actually going to just start from right there.
I've been saving every 5 minutes just in case something jumps out at me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. I can just go back and redo this.
Yeah, I have probably saved in that game more than I have in any game I've ever
You kind of
played.
have to, because like if you die, it's like, well, shit, man. Like after every fight, I just hit the autosave button. 'Cause
Right.
might as well.
What's the length on this thing, by the way?
Well,
Mass Effect 1, you think?
what's that?
What do you, like in lengthwise? Would you say it's like Mass Effect 1 or longer?
I'm pulling
one was
mine up.
long.
I didn't have a time length on mine.
Okay.
Don't
worry.
It depends if you
I
do
can probably
side,
tell you later.
If you do
What's
all
that?
the sides, if you do all the side stuff, it's a lot longer, but it's more fulfilling in my opinion.
I want to say that I had close to 20 hours into it,
Let's see.
but I did some side stuff, so I don't.
So it's
I don't
kind
know.
of just that doesn't sound insurmountable, so that's good.
No. It's not horribly long, but I would say, I mean, I don't know. It's not
you
short, but
played
it's
Final Fantasy, whatever.
Yeah. It's a speck in time to you, Dean.
Very good.
Let's put it this way.
It's
I
like
already
the
have
prologue.
14 hours, but I did every
Jesus.
single side quest.
Oh,
So
see, I didn't do every side quest. I
Yeah.
did some, but
I'm OCD about that, so I did every single one. That's why I have so many hours in that game.
did you
But it's
have you
really
done any of
good.
have you done any of the crafting?
Yeah, a little bit. I have when you killed that one monster at the end of chapter
Karen?
1. Yeah, okay, we'll just say it's the Karen because that's not really spoilers. When you kill a Karen, I have that suit of armor.
It's not spoilers, but yeah, I
It's-
got that armor.
But everyone got the enhanced edition, right? Is
Yeah.
that like- yeah, because I had the blue coat to start with. I was like, wow, this thing's actually pretty awesome. And it's like, yeah, this is an epic piece of armor. It's like, oh,
Sweet.
thanks. But yeah, it's really good. So play it, Dean.
Play, Dean.
I'll if anybody sees it on sale, Steam me or email me or tweet me.
I would check Good Old Games and Steam because they both are really big. And so
Well, yeah, definitely check Good Old Games because they're owned by CD Projekt Red.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, isn't Good Old Games actually?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, they're,
owned by CD Projekt Red.
I think that, and they're distributing
Mhm.
that game.
Cool. Well, I will.
They actually had a thing on there that when the enhanced edition came out, they were doing a bunch of shit that they actually have a cloud version of the game that you could just download from Good Old Games if you had bought the game. So.
Yeah, anywhere.
If you,
If you had bought it, which I bought it originally from there.
Cool.
I think I bought mine from Amazon. I can't remember.
Got mine.
But anyways.
I did have one more thing, though.
What's up?
Rift has 3-sided PvP now. Like
We'll talk about that in news.
Is that, like, open? Never mind. All right.
We'll talk about news.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
Talk about it then.
What about
Real
you,
quick.
Dick? What are you playing?
Is that his new name? All right.
Really? All I've been playing is Civilization 5.
Good game.
Yeah, that's
It
a
is.
good game.
I never really got as hooked into it as I am now for some reason, though. I don't know why, but I think it was there was so much shit that came out when it came out. But what?
Did you get like new DLC for it, or are you just
No,
suddenly
I
playing
just
it for no
started-
reason?
I was just like, I'm gonna play some Civ out of nowhere for some reason, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I did one match and I did fucking horrible, so I started over, and I'm still working on this one. I think I'm about 6 or 7 hours into this one map, and
Nice.
rocking it. Me and Egypt are going at it. Fucker's going down.
If you want a really fun game mode, get the I think it's Conquest of the Americas. It's basically like all the indigenous people, like the Aztecs, Incans, and all that, versus all the conquistadors, and you can pick what other side you want. But it's a really fun game mode, so recommend that.
That'd be
It's
cool.
like $2, I think.
That sounds neat. And then the Gods and Kings expansion's coming
Oh yeah, is that coming
Like-
out this year?
next month.
Really?
I think so.
Nice. That's good.
But like I just started playing the game, and then the next day I saw something about how that was coming out, and I was like, "Whoa, shit! Well, look at the time." I mean, I'll be sick of this game before that comes out. But yeah, that's really nothing to say about it. I haven't really been playing much else other than that. So
Good game.
boring me, I guess. But yeah, it's just got my artillery, so I got that going for me.
Did you go for the early Stonehenge build?
No,
Oh.
I just build as I see fit. I don't.
If you
I
want
don't-
to instantly win, you just rush Stonehenge and then rush the Oracle. And then you pump
rush
pace.
Stonehenge.
It's like StarCraft. It's like a 6-pool. You just rush Stonehenge.
It's like,
No
ah!
Exactly. Every day I get it, you scream at your computer. And
Bunch
you
of,
start
like,
it again.
Bunch of Cro-Magnons sitting around. I was like, okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go right for the Stonehenge.
On
Trust
3.
me, trust me, it's gonna work. You got that, Grog? got that Ringo Starr?
Oh, I get that.
yes.
I think they're too young to get that.
You lost me. I am
I
not
heard
that.
I didn't get anything past that. I can't place it.
I didn't get that one, and I am barely younger than. Yeah,
Somebody,
I'm barely younger than Steve. Barely.
barely. All right, we'll get into a quick bit of news before we call it a night. This just in, Jane, you ignorant slut. And the only bit of news, we have no emails, so fuck you all. And be sure to rate us on iTunes. You're not going to do that, though. Look at you. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, but go to hell. I don't care. I'm tired.
Really cynical.
Wow.
But
You guys are all assholes. Just
you see this? Suck this. Well, you can't see this. It's not a video podcast. If you pay me more money, I'd make it a video podcast, but you're not going to do that. Anyways. News. What's the news, Rare?
So that thing I mentioned earlier, and you're like, no, don't talk about that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So Rift has 3-sided PvP now. I got that email, and I was
Not
like,
right now, but it's
"What?"
coming. They're testing it.
Is it real though? I mean, or is it like instance?
Here, I don't understand the, like, if it's going to be out in a frontier zone or not.
I think it is.
The
Like,
only part that I know is that you actually choose which of the 3 factions you want to belong to.
what's
yeah.
the third faction?
No, there's not a third faction. The 2 previous factions can choose any of the new 3.
Basically, they're done killing each other eternally, and they're like, let's just be bros.
The
And now
Guardians
we're-
of the Defiance?
Yeah, now we're just going to have philosophical differences of how we should treat the non-immortal people. So it's like, I'm a guardian, I'm going to help the non-immortal people, or like, I'm going to ascend myself to become God, or I'm going to be a tyrant to the non-immortal people. So that's like the 3 factions. So who cares about the past year of lore? We're just gonna
Yeah.
throw that away.
I want to join the faction that wants to kill John Stamos.
I'd join that faction.
I think that's the Ram faction. But I know it's like, it's the Ram, the Raven,
and the
and
Raven.
the Lion. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We got our facts down, man, but I think it's an open area.
Okay.
I'm trying to find an email and I can't.
But
Sorry.
my immediate reply to that when I found out about that on Twitter via, I think it's Eric Zahn, I think is his name. It was like a community person. He tweeted out about that, and I was like, you know what? Honestly, that's great. I hope more MMOs actually adopt that. I want to see some new ideas come into that. And hey, if they end up coming up with a great system, the way that Rift has been packing in content post-launch, if they can make that work, I would check it out again.
Yeah.
I'd be really psyched if they gave us like a 1 week, hey, come play this.
I would assume they would do something of like reactivating previous accounts.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't hate that game, I just kind of got bored with it. But if there's a viable 3-faction PvP system, I would at least give it a look.
Because I just got another email today about how they're adding leaderboards to Rift, so I would assume that they're getting pretty heavy into the whole factional PvP thing.
Right.
So
But yeah, good on them, man. That's a hell of a thing. And it just makes me think, like, you look at what they're doing and adding a third or not adding a third faction, but they're adding a way to do 3-faction, and you look back at Warhammer and go, you fuckers couldn't do this?
Yeah,
No.
pretty much.
Yeah, they should have done that.
Don't bring up war, you make me depressed.
Hey, it's better than Ion!
Dude.
Good night, everybody. Rare killed the
exactly.
podcast.
Alright, great.
And
Awesome ending.
But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. We will see y'all next week. That's all I got.
Witcher 2.
Go play Witcher 2. Pre-order Guild Wars 2.
Kill John Stamos.
Kill John Stamos.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was gonna make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are gonna die! Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.
The Wii sucks.
Killed John Stamos with a Wii.
Beat the shit
Use
out
that
of that
nunchuck
man.
for what it was meant for.
Use the sharp edge.
Sharp. There's no sharp edge.
There are 3 sharp edges on the Wii and 1 non-sharp edge.
Ooh.
He got a 75% chance.
Of killing John Stamos. That's the chance I'm willing to take.